Hey guys, what's up? DJ Kevin over here. Now, here's a video that I want to do before the gig log. That is October 5th. Well, today is... I don't have my cell phone on with me. But, I'm going to do this video for the beginners that want to start DJing. And some young cats out there actually messaged me on YouTube asking me what's the difference between passive system, and an active system. What's the difference? What is the disadvantage? What is the great part about it? Well, I'm going to stick all that in one video right here, right now. But here's the funniest part. This iPod that I always make my videos off died in the middle of my recording. So what I did, I plugged it in. You followed the lead. The brick is in my pocket, and it's plugged in. So yeah, now I'm going off power now. But I can't just drop this right here, or I won't be moving. I won't be moving places, so I have to shove this brick in my pocket, and there we go. Now I'm ready to record. Whoopsie. So here we go. Here's the question that everybody asks me. DJ Kevin, what's the difference between passive and active systems? Let's start with a passive. Here we go. Let's go to a passive speaker. Well, you guys, this is a passive speaker. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Any of you guys are DJs on YouTube, you guys already know. But the first thing that pops into my head is the youngins and the people who want to start today. So, here is a passive speaker. Well, first let me show you the difference between the passive and an active speaker. Alright? Here you go. Ready? This is passive. And this is active. So, DJ Kevin, what's the difference? Really? Let me show you. Alright, the difference between a passive speaker and an active speaker is the gubbins on the back. There is no equalizers, there is no plug it in, no. The only thing that you have is an input and an output. But if you're buying the big pro audio stuff, you will find different connections. For regular home audio stuff, you'll have the push button connectors. You push it in, you stick the wire, then you release it. This is pro audio stuff. So, there's different cables and connectors that you could buy to enhance your show. But this time, I'm going to show you two types of connections for a passive speaker. So, like I said, this is a passive speaker. These plugs are known as speak-on, and these guys are known as quarter-inch or TRS, as they are industry known. Alright, now, the good part about passive speakers is you plug your amplifier into here. Now, I'll show you later on in the video what's an amplifier. But this time, I'm going to show you how to use a passive speaker. Now, you plug in your amplifier into this one, well, any of these two. You plug it into the input, and then take the output and plug it into another passive speaker. So there you go. There's one thing that's really, really good for you. Input, the amplifier goes in here, and output goes to the second same speaker, or a different speaker, or whatever. So basically the output is like a daisy chain. If you guys could go back to my other video that everybody bashed on me about daisy chaining speakers, well, that's how you do it. I mean, there's no different other way to daisy chain speakers. That's how you do it. You go from your input from your amplifier over here, and then you go to your output to the next speaker. So that's how you do it. For this particular speaker cabinet, this is the Pile Pro PPHP 1287. Well, they're not really called Pile Pro no more. They're just called Pile. But this is an older style, so that's why they have the Pro in there, in the name. But, you know, this speaker is different. The quarter inch or TRS is not really hooked up to each other. The only thing that's hooked up that is not hooked up to each other is the speak-on connectors. Speak-on connector over here. So basically with the quarter inch, you could go from here or here. It doesn't really matter. But the crossover on this speaker only affects the speak-on connectors over here. So that's how you use a passive speaker. You go from your input over here, and then from your output to another speaker. Alright? And if anybody wants to know what those two connectors are called, that is called speak-on, and that is called TRS or quarter inch. You'll find a lot of quarter inches around. They still build those as of today. But the worst part about quarter inches, you put them in there, always, all the time when you have a gig, and then they'll wear away. The speak-on, you put it in there, you twist, and it locks in. So, go for a speak-on cable. Alright, well, you need an amplifier to drive this particular speaker. What's an amplifier? Well, let me show you, you potheads. Nah, just playing. Here is a amplifier. This is an amplifier right here. Oh, and do you guys like my my homemade amp rack? Really solid. There's this big humongous space over here because I'm gonna put more stuff in there, like a sonic maximizer, a limiter, a equalizer, a drive rack PA. I'm gonna buy all that stuff and put this in here. But the next time that you see this rack, it's gonna be having a sonic maximizer in there. So yeah, cannot wait to purchase that thing. But this is an amplifier, okay? You guys are looking at it going, DJ Kevin, it doesn't have any gobbly bits like mine does. Well, yours is a receiver. This is a professional pro amplifier, powered amplifier. So mostly it just has two knobs. Alright? For this piece of equipment drives the speaker to its potential. What I mean is, this thing supplies the signal and the power to the passive speakers. Okay? So that's why you need an amplifier. Or, if you guys go in home audio use, a receiver will be a good idea. But never, 100% never, in home use, ever plug a pro amplifier into your hi-fi speakers. It will blow the fuck out of it. This is 2100 watts worth of power right here. So this will kick your hi-fi system's ass. So yeah. So this is a pro amplifier. 2100 watts. This is the Pile PQA 2100. Hence in the name, 2100. PQA 2100. When you're using a pro amplifier, like this one right here, if you're going to use it to gigs, make sure that the volume is all the way up. The reason being why you should have your amplifier all the way up is to get the full signal to the passive speakers. So that's why you need them full blasted. Over here, you have a clip light, a power light, a protective light, and another clip light on the other end for channel A, channel B. So that's why you need to have your amplifier all the way up like that. So get the full signal into the passive speakers. Now, so that is a passive system. Again, remember that I said about daisy chaining? This is a good example. Okay? I know you guys cannot really see it. This wire goes to that little crappy amplifier or preamplifier. It's mostly a receiver, but I call it a preamplifier. So that goes in here into this connector, and then there's a 1/4 inch connector that you could plug into another speaker, and then that drops that receiver or preamplifier into a 4 ohm load. Alright, why a 4 ohm load? Because you're running two speakers together. So 8 and 8, you drop it, you connect both of them together, they go to 4. So that's a good example about daisy chaining. Alright, well, let me show you what an active speaker looks like. Yeah, a lot more goblins on the back. This is an active speaker. Alright, I know this video is going to take very, very long because I like chatting in a video. But, hey, this is for all the young guys who want to start today. This is an active speaker system. Alright? This amplifier supplies power to this speaker, which looks like that. This is a 15-inch woofer, and that right there is a oh shit, it doesn't even tell you on the box. I think that's a 1-inch compression driver in there. And that is a 15-inch woofer. So, this amplifier drives those speakers. Actually, do you know what? There's 2 amplifiers in here. There's 2 amplifiers in this system. Why? Because there's one amplifier in the back of this that runs the bass in the mid. And there's another amplifier in here that runs the high frequency. Now you don't need to worry about with a passive system because they'll throw out the whole frequency to your speakers. But that is what that's why they have 2 amplifiers in an active speaker. Alright, now here's a disadvantage about a passive speaker. Okay, I talk a lot. The disadvantage about an active speaker system, you need power. You guys are like shaking your head going, what? Let me tell you guys, you cannot put the speaker anywhere that you want. It needs to have a power source. But I know what you guys are thinking. DJ Kevin, the Pro Power Amplifier, the passive external amplifier is what they like to call it. The external amplifier needs power too. So you cannot put that wherever you want. Control. This is connected to the speakers. This is not. So, what you need is, you need power to go into this speaker. Power. But you need an outlet right near the powered speaker. That is what I'm trying to tell you. You need an outlet to drive this speaker. So you need this speaker to be next to an outlet. Well, somewhat you need a near outlet, but you could get an extension cord, which I have in that bag over there. That I could extend this to wherever I want, put it wherever I want, but hey, sometimes it's all about the signal cord too, the signal chain. When I'm running, I am running by RCA. This is a long-ass RCA cord, to be honest. This is not the typical RCA cable. It runs to my mixer through this area, up into my hand, and into the speaker. So this is really, really long. I think this is like 6 feet, 7 feet long cord. So I could put this 6 feet or 7 feet around the radius where my mixer is. Alright? But you still need power. You need this to be near a power source. Which, I'm not really too fond about that. Oh, and it could be pole mounted. But I'm not too fond about an active speaker because it needs to be near a power source, which, bam, there's one right there. Bam, there's one right there. So, you need that near your powered speakers. For a passive speaker system, you don't. I can put this underneath my booth, the amplifier underneath my booth, or on top of my table, or wherever that I want to put it. And I could put this speaker. I could get a 100-foot speaker cable. Plug it into one of these jacks over here. Speak on a 1/4 inch, whatever I want. And I could bring the speaker all the way to the next room in the back. And still have sound. And I don't need to plug this speaker in anywhere because it's already plugged into this amplifier. Active speaker system, or ASSIV. I'm just busting balls right now. Active speakers, you need power to be near the speaker system. Because this is the cord that comes with any passive active speaker system. It's so short. I already plugged it into that strip, and guess what? It fits, but it gives tension. See? Look at how that thing is jumping up and down over there. So, yeah. You still need power very, very close at hand to run this speaker. But for a passive system, plug this into the power strip and have a 100-foot speaker cable and run this in the back room, like all the way to that wall over there, and still have sound. So, yeah. Disadvantage about active speaker systems, once again, before I close, I'm sorry. Disadvantage about active speaker systems, before I close this video out, you need a power source near the speakers. That's it. Oh, and what happened if the speaker dies out? You lost a speaker. You lost a good speaker if this amplifier decides to crap out. And you don't even have another speaker. You'll just have one speaker in your setup. That's it. Just imagine that this speaker's blown. That's it. I'm done. Just imagine I have another one. I have another one over there. That's the only one that I got. So, active speakers, yeah, they're good for some advantages, but they actually do suck. Now, for a passive speaker system, for an example, if this thing blown, I could just plug that crappy receiver into my speakers, and that's it. That means the party's not done. We'll still be rocking it out without no worries. So, active speakers, you'll lose a speaker. Passive systems, you lose an amplifier. You bring a backup amplifier, plug it into your speakers, and you're still good to go. I know that have a 5 minute, 10 minutes moment of silence, but the party will still go on after the silent. Active speaker systems, not so much. So, there you go. There you go. I mean, that's why I stick with the passive system. I only buy this active speaker system just for backup. And plus, if somebody's asking me for a wedding or hiring me for a wedding and they need extra sound around the room, that's where this speaker comes to handy. Or in the reception, if a reception hall, there you go. The only thing that you just need to do is I gotta plug in my USB over here, or SD card, and then plug in the microphone. That's it. That's what this thing, I use this for. So in a nutshell, passive is better than active. I'm sorry. I mean, everybody got their personal, tweaky deeks. But what I think, active is good. Some certain reasons, in some certain parties, yes it is. You guys will be seeing this speaker with me, this powered speaker with me, because I'm doing this in a big, humongous hall. So that's why I gotta bring this active speaker with me for extra sound. I'm not saying that this amplifier is not going to throw a lot of sound. This is 2100 watts worth of power. So this thing actually throws good, decent, ear-popping loudness. But I'll just bring this speaker just in case if anything goes wrong with that amplifier, or plus for extra sound around the room, I'm gonna bring it. Okay. Again, before I close out this video, passive is better than active. In my perspective, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry for all the people who have active speaker systems for their main system. Guys, I have an active speaker right here. I could talk bad about it whenever I want. But not if the company is watching this video. So I would go for a passive system than an active system, to be honest. I'm sorry. That's just how I roll. I've been rolling around with passive speakers my whole entire life, and then when I bought an active speaker, and then I'm like, cool. Alright. But I need a power source near it. So that's why I went back to passive. But I'm not saying active is bad. If I say active is bad, I wouldn't be buying this powered speaker. Right? Right. But some disadvantage about active speaker systems, you need a power source near it. If you really have a long-ass extension cord or a long-ass XLR or RCA cable like I do, you can bring that wherever, but you need it near a power source. And a power outlet. Passive speaker, passive system, put the amplifier on my table or put the amplifier on the floor. If I got 100 feet speaker cables, run that down to the other room, all the way over there, and I'll still have loud sound, no matter how loud or how far the amplifier is away from the speakers. So, there you go. That's a little video on my standpoint of view on what is passive, what is active systems, which one is good, which one is bad. Active speaker systems, they're good at some points if you're doing a reception or a wedding hall, or they want extra sound in another room. But I would definitely go with passive. I think passive is much powerful than active speakers. I know I heard that active speakers a lot louder because the amplifier is built for the speakers. But if you need to upgrade an amplifier, you need to upgrade the speaker. For me, if I need to upgrade an amplifier, I just need to upgrade an amplifier and still keep my speakers. So, you know, think about that. Disadvantage about an active speaker system. Put it in the comment section below and tell me what's your pet peeves about an active speaker system. And also tell me in the comment section below what's the disadvantage about passive speakers or passive systems. I know you gotta lug around an amplifier, but hey, that's the same thing as lugging around this piece of crap. It's the same thing. So you're still lugging it around. So think about that one. Alright guys, so that's my video for today. Just telling you a disadvantage about an active speaker and the passive. I get so worked up about people saying, oh, active speaker's a lot better than passive. I get so worked up about that. I'm 150% all passive systems. Because soon I want to start a live sound engineering company. I need to go with passive. I can't do live sound reinforcement with an active one. So, alright guys. That's just a little video on my taste on an active system and a passive one. Alright guys. See you guys at the gig log. Practice and enjoy.